we've gotten to the top 8 and the top 16 players in the league. That I take 16 players that I think if you add them to a team with some quality coaching, they're gonna win. And we've got down to the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
players that I need. This is how we're gonna wind up today. The top 8 and 8. You know what I mean? It is. The next guy I want to tell you about is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is number 8. The reason I got him at number 8 is because, for one, he don't stay healthy too often. Joel Embiid is dope as hell. He can do everything. There's nothing he cannot do on the basketball court. Engaging, fun, dedicated to defense and offense. He got the post game, but he can't stay healthy. That's why he's so high. If he can stay healthy, he'll be in the top 4. But Joel Embiid is an unstoppable big man who can shoot the 3, but he stays in the post. Shout out to Joel Embiid for being in the post. Ring the alarm, wake these clowns up, because he is 7 feet tall and he tries to dunk as frequently as possible. Just because I can shoot the 3 don't mean I'm going to shoot the 3. Shout out to him, but I am going with Joel Embiid in that slot. Joel Embiid is in that slot easily. His teammate, Ben Simmons, talk about he can't shoot, talk about this, talk about that. Ben Simmons has the basketball IQ of LeBron James and the shield of LeBron James and other superstars to cover him until he develops the rest of his game. Hopefully he's been working on his jump shot over the summer. If he has, he could have potentially slid into the top 4 as well. The Philadelphia 76ers will be one of the most unstoppable hurricanic, that ain't even a word, but hurricanic forces that you've seen in a very long time. These two dudes are comfortable now. Joel Embiid finished his first season without any injuries from his sternum down. Nothing. He was able to stay healthy this summer. He was doing his thing. Him being no back issues, no leg issues. He cracked the bone in his face. That's just that orbital bone thing is something that happens. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. Remember, the last 16 games of the season, Ben Simmons did his thing. Nobody even thought about Joel Embiid in his cracked face. Ben Simmons is the man. Holla at your boy. 2 fingers, 1 word. Get at me, man. Then you move to the next dude that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Well, a lot of people pay attention to, but they look at him because I think he's a stat chaser. They talk about how hard he works. We talk about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, 100 miles per hour, all day, every day. It ain't really a whole lot you need to say about him, man. He's shown he's won league MVP, first player in the history of the league to back-to-back triple-doubles. I think he needs to cool out on the triple-double stats, and that looks good on paper, but it ain't getting you nowhere. They need to get him a point guard and let him be the 2 guard and let him be a ball-dominant 2 guard, and so he can do his thing. But ain't really a whole lot you need to say about Russ, man. He the man. He the man. The next up is what I believe is a second-tier superstar. He's shown us that he's not the go-to man. He can get you to the playoffs, but this dude is not. I repeat, he is not going to lead you to a championship, in my personal opinion. He's my favorite player in the NBA today. It's not from Chicago, because y'all know if you're in Chicago, you automatically are my favorite players in the league. But he's my favorite non-Chicago in the league. He's a fellow lefty like me. He's my main man, the Beard, a.k.a. James Harden, or James Harden, a.k.a. the Beard Gang in the building. James Harden got the left dribble, the right dribble, the step back shot, the drive to the hole, the 3, the dunk. He can do everything, but for whatever reason, he does not show up in the big games. He will get you in the playoffs, though. He is what I've been telling y'all about, second tier. We're going to talk about second tier and third tier Wednesday. That's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about Wednesday, and we're going to talk about what exactly is a superstar versus a star versus a role player. You know what? It's second tier, third tier, and then role player. You got the superstars, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. You got the stars like Steph Curry, James Harden, and that crew. You got the very good guys like Jimmy Butler, and then you got the role players. We're gonna talk about that situation. That's gonna be a get down. We're gonna get down on Wednesday, but there's nothing else to say. James Harden will get you to the playoffs. I just don't think he has what it takes to get you to the promised land. With that being said, let's go right back to this NFL league. The NFL, I stopped at the New York Jets. We're going to go to the Oakland Fakers, the Chokeland Fakers. led by Chucky and the Oakland Raiders. I'm sorry, y'all. I must have wrote that down wrong. John Gruden, in the words of the great Brian Cox, the only thing he must be doing at halftime is taking a piss, because the Raiders are leading the league in first half scoring, and they are dead ass last. They're in the top of the league in scoring in the first half. They dead last in the league in scoring in the second half. They lead them. They are the most putrid team in the NFL at 3 points a game in the second half. 0 points a game in the second half. Fourth quarter, 0 in the fourth, 3 in the second half. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Oakland. John Gruden, you need to step your game up. The Cleveland Browns are coming to town. The only reason I think you guys even have a remote chance of winning is because you've had a week to study Baker Mayfield. He is a rookie. You may be able to confuse him, but that Cleveland Brown defense ain't no punk, and your boy be back there flinching. If you don't run that ball with beast mode, you gonna get that boy hurt. Them Cleveland Browns ain't playing. That boy Miles is out there. He gonna put some miles on that boy car back, because he ain't playing. And I anticipate 2 roughing the passes penalties on the Cleveland Browns, because Derek Carr is a flinching dog. But with that being said, Myles Garrett is going to be killing them. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, but keep this in mind. I do think this is going to be a closer game than we anticipate, simply because this dude is a rookie quarterback, and they've had an entire week to prepare for him. Rookie quarterbacks are not the deal. Everybody keep talking about how great Baker Mayfield is. He's a good young quarterback. I'm not a fan at all. He's solid. I just don't anticipate a whole lot out of him. You don't tell me you're going to be a good quarterback coming out the Big 12, because the Big 12 don't play no damn defense. If you play in the conference that don't play no defense, how the hell would you possibly be anticipated to be good? I don't get it. Miss me. I ain't trying to hear it. Now, the who give a damn game of the week is the Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. Russell Wilson versus Zach Rosen. Who really care, man? I shouldn't even pick this game, because either one of these teams are good. Zach Rosen has another week of preparation, but Pete Carroll is a great defensive mind. This is going to be a close game, but it's not going to be close because it's going to be good. I think it's going to be close because they don't have a whole lot of talent. Doug Baldwin, out of here. Zach Rosen, one of his first starts. Question: why is my man Jackson the only one that ain't started in the NFL this year? That's no question. But nobody really care about this game. Let's go to the New York Giants and the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Seabags on that one. The Seattle Seahawks, they gonna beat them because Pete Carroll is a good defensive coach. It is what it is. Then you're gonna go to the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants in New York. The Saints don't play out well outside of that dome. The Giants got big time defense, but it should be an interesting play because the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara, this is the deal, if Sean Payton don't fall in love with Drew Brees and try to have another baby down or whatever, the Saints could pull this off. But again, Flowers in that offensive line in New York, shaky as hell. They shaky as a Dauphin Jones. And yeah, another game that don't nobody really give a damn about, but because that line is so shaky in New York and that defense is so wishy-washy, because they are not running that ball down your throat, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton is a former assistant in New York. He's going to bring that home coming in there. Drew Brees is going to toss that thing around and they're going to look good. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this is an easy game. Melvin Gordon is going to run wild over the San Francisco 49ers because he's going to get a ton of opportunities. The reason he's going to get a ton of opportunities, no Jimmy G, no offense, no win. Goes to the Los Angeles Chargers. Phillip Rivers is having one of his better statistical years. And Melvin Gordon is going to look like the dude who's picked high in the draft, who has the knee issue. But he ain't going to look like he's going to have a knee issue. The StubHub Center is going to be rocking full of San Francisco 49er people because for whatever reason, they moved their dumbasses up to L.A. when there's a stadium deal that's potentially in Oakland. You need to look into that. I'm just trying to help, man. That's what I do. I'm going to go with the Chargers to win this game against the 49ers. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are suffering. Nobody all week said this. They are suffering because Ben Roethlisberger does not live up to the bill, and they miss Le'Veon Bell. It ain't the locker room. It ain't Antonio Brown acting like a chump, which he is. I'm sorry, Antonio fan, but you acting like a chump. It ain't that. It ain't the defense is looking all bad, and it's all, man, it's, look, you run to win, you throw to score. The reason you run to win is because the more you run, the more vitality you give to your defense. They're rested. They're ready to get after the quarterback. They're ready to put the quarterback on his ass. And the running back allows those dudes to do that. Remember, defense is reading and reacting. You are more alert when you're less tired and fatigued. Fatigue makes a sissy out of all of us. That's what my son, Jimmy Fields. Shout out to Jimmy Fields, man. Fatigue makes a sissy out of all of us. But when you're throwing that ball around the field and you're going in and out the game, you get tired. When you get tired, you get fatigued and you make mistakes. I.e., the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the first time in the Mike Tomlin era, is top 10 in penalties. That's why they're making so many penalties, because they're tired. Therefore, either trade Le'Veon Bell or run the hell out of John Connor. People, since the moment Ben Roethlisberger took over this team, they ain't done nothing. When it was Joey Porter and James Harrison and Polamalu and Ryan Clark, they were unstoppable. Big Ben was making big plays because he was not asked to do a whole lot. But since he's been asked to do a whole lot, he ain't done nothing. And you can blame Mike Tomlin, you can blame Michael Jackson, you can blame Mike Tyson, and Mike, any of the Mikes that you ever heard of. Big Ben Roethlisberger is freaking games in Pittsburgh, and that's why they were losing. I.e., a year ago, the big shootout against the Patriots, when he threw the offensive coordinator Todd Haley under the bus. I don't know why they didn't ask me to spike the ball. If it was up to me, they'd have told I would have spiked the ball. What did they call the throw the ball to the linebacker play that you ran? Because that's what you did. I'm quite sure they don't have a play called interception on one, which you threw. Sorry, people. They went up 21-0. They went up 21 points on the putrid Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they didn't score in the second half. I'm through talking. I'm through with it. You can keep talking that nonsense about Big Ben. This. I mean, Mike Tomlin needs to get control of the locker room. The locker room is splintered due to the people upstairs didn't sign Le'Veon Bell. Newsflash, people. Le'Veon Bell was offered a $32 million contract. Why is he trucking? Because they only guaranteed 1 year. You know why that's a problem? Because that's the franchise tag. Why would he play for that? 1 year. Franchise tag. I would come in either. So that's why nobody who's in the know is blaming Mike Tomlin. The locker room isn't fractured because of Mike Tomlin don't have control. The locker room is fractured because the people upstairs don't want to invest in Le'Veon Bell, and they didn't do their due diligence to get him the hell up out of there. They could have traded him before the trade deadline to the Jets and got a better pick, and then they could have had one of these young running backs. They could be looking to trade. They are looking to trade him now, but it's too late. They know you're not going to get a replacement for Le'Veon Bell in week 4. Pittsburgh Steelers will beat the Baltimore Ravens because they're in shambles, and you got Joe Flacco, and he don't have a whole lot of talent around him. He a poor man's Eli Manning in a great situation, and once you get to the playoffs, you better watch out. But he's not in a great situation. Sorry, he's Joe Flacco. What they need to be doing is trying to get Joe Flacco, trade Joe Flacco down to Baltimore, and trade him from Baltimore to Jacksonville to see if you can get something for him, because it's over for him now. And then you can let Robert Griffin III and start to groom Lamar Jackson to take over that job. Otherwise, this is a wasted season. The Pittsburgh Steelers will walk through this. It's a Monday night game. We expecting a T-Sizzle show and all that. This is not that Baltimore Ravens. T-Sizzle going to be putting it on Big Ben. Big Ben is good to throw a pick. Mark my words. I don't care how good Big Ben play. He going to freak the game. He gonna throw a freak the game kind of play. He's overrated. He's overhyped. I ain't trying to hear it no more. Miss me with that nonsense. And then we're going to go to the rivalry game. This is going to be a old school punch you in the mouth game. The Denver Broncos got good D. but they got Case Keenum. The Kansas City Chiefs